Welcome to the California Department of Toxic Substances Control's training video on how to file the department's annual hazardous waste ID number verification questionnaire, also known as the eVQ, which stands for Electronic Verification Questionnaire. The verification questionnaire is required by the California Health and Safety Code. It is conducted to verify the accuracy of the information associated with your ID number and assess the hazardous waste manifest fees. If you are required to file the questionnaire, you must do so to maintain the active status of your ID number or numbers. In this video, I'm going to go over the following. First, the 2022 verification questionnaire filing requirements. Second, how to register for an eVQ account. Third, how to complete each of the 5 steps of the questionnaire. Fourth, how to pay for your fees. And lastly, how to avoid common mistakes. Let's start with the verification questionnaire basics. How do you know if you're required to file the 2022 verification questionnaire? The answer is, you or your company had a hazardous waste ID number that was active at any time during the previous fiscal year, from July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022. Or you or your company shipped hazardous waste using an assigned hazardous waste ID number during the 2021 calendar year, from January 1st through December 31st, 2021. If you meet either one of these requirements, then you'll need to file the 2022 verification questionnaire. The 2022 verification questionnaire is due 30 days from when you receive the first email or paper notification from DTSC. Since notifications are staggered, the due dates will vary. Notifications begin around mid-July. Now, let's move on to how the verification questionnaire is filed. The questionnaire is filed electronically through the eVQ system at evq.dtsc.ca.gov. The eVQ system provides a fast and convenient way for you to file the questionnaire. Next, we'll briefly go over how to register for an eVQ account. If this is your first time filing the verification questionnaire, you'll need to register an eVQ account. To do so, let's go to the eVQ homepage. Click on the blue icon which reads Register. On this screen, you'll complete a registration account profile. Enter your EPA ID number in this box. Your EPA ID number is 12 characters long and begins with a lettered prefix of CA. If you don't know your EPA ID number, refer to the notification that you received from DTSC, as the EPA ID number is on the notification. If you receive an error message after entering your EPA ID number, click on link number 1 below the video on how to resolve a respective error message. When your EPA ID number has been added successfully, you'll see it in this box here. If you have multiple EPA ID numbers that share the same Federal Employer ID number, or FEIN, you can add them in. If the ID numbers don't share the same FEIN, then you'll need to register separate eVQ accounts for them. After your ID number or numbers have been added, scroll down and you'll see that some of the fields have been pre-populated based on the information that you had submitted when you applied for the EPA ID number. Complete all the required fields indicated by a red star. Make sure you create a username and password that meets the username and password requirements, as shown in this blue box. Also write down your username and password so you don't forget it. When all the required fields have been completed, click Submit eVQ Account Request. If your account is created successfully, you will receive a confirmation message on the next screen, and an email confirmation will be sent to the primary contact's email address. To log into your account, go to the eVQ homepage at evq.dtsc.ca.gov. Then click the icon that reads Log In. Enter your username and password. It is case sensitive. You'll see this menu here. The questionnaire is 5 steps long. If you need to make any changes to your username and/or password, you may do so by clicking on the user profile icon. Let's click on step 1 to begin. In this step, you are verifying your general company information. FEIN stands for the Federal Employer Identification Number. If a FEIN appears in this section, it cannot be changed. You'll have to contact the Business Operations Unit if the FEIN is incorrect. If there is no FEIN in this field, you can enter the FEIN associated with your company. The NAICS code stands for the North American Industry Classification System Code and is a required field. It is a 2 to 6-digit code that describes your business activity. If you do not know your NAICS code, you can visit naics.com or census.gov. After you have finished verifying the information, click Save and go to Step 2. In this step, you are verifying your company's mailing and owner information. You may make any changes if necessary. The company name and owner name fields are grayed out because they cannot be changed here. If you need to update one or both of these fields, please click on link number 2 below the video for more information. After you have finished verifying the information, click Save and go to Step 3. In Step 3, you are verifying your EPID number or numbers that were active at any time from July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022, and the hazardous waste manifests shipped under the respective EPID number or numbers from the 2021 calendar year. Although the manifest counts are pre-populated in this step based on the manifest data from DTSC's records, you must verify the counts against your own records and make any corrections if necessary. For the purpose of this questionnaire, you are only reporting hazardous waste tracked on a uniform hazardous waste manifest. This is the shipping document that tracks your hazardous waste from the point of generation to the final treatment, storage, and disposal facility, or TSDF for short. If you are not familiar with the form, click on the blue link here. For the manifest counts, you are reporting the number of manifests your company had during the 2021 calendar year, not the amount of waste on the manifest. Your manifest will fall into one of the following categories: recycled, non-recycled, and non-recycled air solvents. A manifest is counted as recycled when all the wastes listed on the manifest have been recycled. To determine if the hazardous waste on a manifest was recycled, look at box 19 of that respective uniform hazardous waste manifest. The disposal facility lists the hazardous waste report management method codes in box 19. The recycle codes are H010, H020, H039, H050, or H061. For the non-recycled manifest, the non-recycled codes are all the codes except the recycled codes. For air solvents, this count pertains to manifests used solely for hazardous waste derived from air-compliant solvents that is not recycled. You can find a list of certified clean air solvents on the South Coast Air Quality Management District's website. To view the manifest details, click on the respective ID number that you want to view. Since I'm using a fictitious EPA ID number, there are not any details. If any manifests are missing from the list, correct the count to reflect your records. You may add ID numbers that are missing from your account by clicking on the Add EPA ID button. To add an EPA ID number, you'll search by the EPA ID or the Federal Employer ID number. You may remove ID numbers from your account by clicking the Remove button. However, before you do so, verify that you are not responsible for filing the ID number and that it does not belong in your account or to your company. Removing the ID number does not inactivate the ID number, it just removes it from your account. If you would like to inactivate an ID number, we will go over that next. If your ID number is currently active, this box will read Inactivate. To inactivate an ID number, click the Inactivate checkbox, then click the green Save Changes button. When you inactivate through the eVQ, the inactive date is backdated to June 30th, 2022. If your company plans to continue operating or shipping hazardous waste using your assigned ID number after June 30th, 2022, do not select the Inactivate checkbox. Inactivate your ID number when your company ceases operating by submitting one of the appropriate forms. Please see link number 3 below this video for more information. If your ID number is currently inactive, this checkbox will read Reactivate. To reactivate an ID number, click the Reactivate checkbox, then click the green Save Changes button. Any fees owed must be paid first, then posted by DTSC's accounting unit before the ID number will be reactivated. DTSC's accounting unit may take from 2 to 6 weeks to post a fee payment. Let's go over the Save Changes button. If you make any changes to a record, you must click the green Save Changes button on that record so that the changes will be applied. A common mistake that users make is checking the Reactivate or Inactivate checkbox and not clicking on the green Save Changes button. You can export the list of ID numbers with the manifest counts to an Excel spreadsheet by clicking the Excel icon. The spreadsheet cannot be used to make edits to the questionnaire. The CDTFA number is the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration number, and it applies to every person or business who generates 5 or more tons of hazardous waste at a site in California within a calendar year. If the CDTFA number does not pertain to you, leave this field blank. If you need a CDTFA number, visit CDTFA's website for more information. When all the information is correct, click on Save and go to Step 4. In Step 4, you are being assessed for the Hazardous Waste Manifest fee. How many total employees do you have in California? Enter the total number of individuals employed by your company or organization throughout California during the 2021 calendar year. Include employees who worked 500 hours or more and employees that worked at locations that did not generate hazardous waste. Hazardous Waste Manifest fee. This fee is based on hazardous waste shipped during the 2021 calendar year from January 1st through December 31st, 2021. To qualify for the manifest credit, you must have 99 or fewer employees. If you have 99 or fewer employees, the first 4 non-recycled manifests are free, provided that they have been sent to DTSC in a timely manner. The manifest tracking numbers that have been credited will be listed on the line Manifest Credited For. If there's a manifest that you should have received credit for, please email evq@dtsc.ca.gov with a copy of that manifest. When the information has been verified, click on Save and go to Step 5. Step 5 is the fee summary and certification. Click on the fee summary button to review your fees, if any. You'll see your EPA ID number verification fee first. This fee will appear as a $0 fee because DTSC no longer collects this fee. Then your hazardous waste manifest fee. Scroll a little further down to see the total at the bottom. You'll certify under penalty of perjury that the information provided during the verification questionnaire is true and correct by entering your first and last name, then your title. You'll click Save and flag as completed. If you need to edit information on a step, click Cancel, and you can go back to a step by clicking on the link to the step, which is in the upper left corner of the screen. Once submitted, you will no longer be able to edit any of the information within the steps. If you need to access any of the steps, contact 1-877-454-4012 to have a DTSC staff member reset the steps for you. We'll go ahead and click Save and flag as completed to file the questionnaire. The next screen reads, "Congratulations, you have completed your verification questionnaire." An email confirmation will be sent to the primary email address on the account. This page provides the invoice and VQ summary. You may download and/or print your invoice, view the payment information, and take the user survey. If you don't owe any fees, the payment information button will not appear. You don't need to mail the invoice. We recommend that you print a copy of your submission for your files. If you owe fees, follow the directions on the screen to make a payment by check or credit card. To make a payment by check, make your check payable to Department of Toxic Substances Control or DTSC. Mail your check along with a copy of your invoice to DTSC at the address listed here. To pay by credit card, click on the Submit Credit Card Payment button, which will lead you to the online payment processor. You don't need to mail the invoice to DTSC if you are paying by credit card. For the verification questionnaire user guide, you'll see a link to the guide on the bottom of the eVQ homepage. The link to the guide is also located on each step of the verification questionnaire. If you have any questions about the verification questionnaire, call us at 1-877-454-4012. Our telephone hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You may also contact us by email at evq@dtsc.ca.gov. As mentioned at the beginning of this video, the verification questionnaire is required by California regulations and must be completed to maintain the active status of your ID number. It is important to complete it correctly. Thanks for watching.